An Alabama man has died after being turned away from several hospitals that are overwhelmed with coronavirus patients. Now, Ray DeMonia's family says that he had a cardiac emergency. This happened last month, and there were no ICU beds available in his hometown. On the evening of August 23rd, DeMonia had heart problems and was taken to Coleman Regional. The next morning, about 12 hours after he was admitted, his daughter said her mother got a call saying that the staff had tried 43 hospitals without any luck in getting him a specialized cardiac ICU bed. So this is the issue that honestly keeps me up at night in regard to those who refuse to get vaccinated. They not only put others at risk of COVID, but more importantly, they're overwhelming hospitals right now because of their unwillingness to get the vaccine to prevent contracting coronavirus. And of course, if you have gotten vaccinated, the likelihood of getting hospitalized with coronavirus is incredibly rare. Now, DeMonia, who was eventually transferred to a Mississippi hospital about 200 miles away, died at 73 on September 1st, 3 days shy of his birthday. And the Washington Post reached out to Coleman Hospital to confirm this story, and it was confirmed. Ray DeMonia was a patient of our care, or in our care, I should say, and was transferred to a different facility. The level of care he required was not available at Coleman Regional. The spokeswoman didn't get into any additional details due to HIPAA regulations, but as you can imagine, this is something that many people are afraid of happening.
Yeah, so we keep having to explain simple things that are facts to people who don't believe facts. So the hospitals are actually full. So if your family member has a serious health problem, especially in the South, you could be in a world of trouble. I know you don't believe us. You don't believe anybody who tells you facts. If you want, you can go by the local emergency room and ask them. Okay, I don't take up too much of their time. You could ask your local doctors. Just ask any human being that doesn't have mental health issues. Okay, and probably the people in the asylums now are a little bit more sane than Republican voters. Like they probably know you got to take your medicine. And so, nope, we don't believe you. Well, now that guy's dead. Did he die after serious cardiac emergency because they had to transfer him 200 miles away? Maybe. And so if it was my family member, I would be beyond livid, because a bunch of morons, the dumbest people on earth, took up all the hospital beds because they wouldn't do something that 99% of the world's doctors told them to do. No, me think guy on Q channel, or me think Tucker Carlson is smarter than all the doctors in the world. Me think the doctor in India and Brazil and America are all cooperating on a secret conspiracy because me listen to a guy I don't know called QAnon online, or some moron. Tucker Carlson the other day admitted I lie sometimes when I'm cornered on air. And then you believe him over all the doctors in the world, and then you take up all the hospital beds. And when we got loved ones that actually need them, you say, oh, well, my freedom says you should go die somewhere else. You should go die on the road trying to find a hospital bed. Pro-life, I mean, these are pro-life individuals, right? Guys, I mean, look, in a sense, it's a good thing the vaccine's here, because at least it gives us that buffer. Because unvaccinated are 11 times more likely to die, okay? And 10 times more likely to get hospitalized. If we were all dying at the same rate, and these mouth breathers, in this case quite literally, are breathing all over us and spreading the disease and calling it freedom, we would have had a much, much larger problem in this country. And so we see these cases every once in a while, but if these keep happening more and more, it's gonna create massive conflict, because then you've got a lot of angry people that are saying, my family member had to die because you were too stupid to listen to goddamn doctors, and you cost us. So it's a thank God it doesn't happen more often. But this is a dangerous, toxic brew. Yep. As we have one set of Americans who says, I don't care about your lives. I don't care if I get you killed. I don't care about it at all. I called out my freedom to kill you. Well, that's not freedom. Nobody thinks that's freedom. except a bunch of lunatics that are right-wingers that are now formed a death cult and call themselves pro-life.
So DeMonia was in fact vaccinated against coronavirus. Again, he had a cardiac emergency. What we also know about the state of Alabama is that it's among the least vaccinated states in the country. It's not the least vaccinated, but it's the fourth least vaccinated, ahead of Idaho, West Virginia, and Wyoming. And yeah, 40% of people in that state have been vaccinated. Now, his family, DeMonia's family, during the, I guess, funeral for their loved one, called on people to get vaccinated. In honor of Ray, please get vaccinated if you have not, in an effort to free up resources for non-COVID related emergencies. He would not want any other family member to go through what he did, or what his did. And just to give you some more details about what's happening with coronavirus, nearly 2,800 people in the state of Alabama were hospitalized with COVID-19 on Sunday, yesterday, including 768 in the ICU, according to data that was compiled by the Washington Post. The number of total hospitalizations over a 7-day average actually decreased by 4% compared with the previous period, although Alabama is averaging 3,641 new infections a day.
Hey, get that horse paste ready. That's a lot of infections. I've never seen anything like this. Ray DeMonia, I have no idea what his politics were. He did the right thing. He took the vaccine, and they said, other than the full hospitals, he didn't do anything wrong, right? And so this didn't have anything to do with coronavirus, other than the full hospitals. And so he's like, I know you guys don't care about us. Like, so for right wingers, if like someone on the left died in New York or San Francisco or Massachusetts, they'd probably be happy. Just generic liberal dies in Massachusetts, they probably think yes, right? Because they're monsters. They don't mind actively harming us. So I wouldn't be very surprised if they didn't celebrate it, right? But that's one of your own. He lives in Alabama. He's your neighbor. The guy's lived in Alabama his whole life. Loves the Allman Brothers. I can go on and on, right? They had his bio there.
Hey! You can like the Allman Brothers without being
it doesn't matter. I don't care about his politics. I don't care about anything. I care that he died, right? But his neighbors go, no, it was my freedom to murder you. Not murdered. Let's not go too far. But to risk your life, I'm willing to risk your life with the decisions I'm making because I don't care about my fellow man. It is brazen in how much they don't care about the rest of us and call it freedom. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.